Welcome to the garden. Today I'm going to be uppotting the rest of our new succulents. These have been cooped up all winter in these little tiny pots. I got these pots for free at a garage sale, and they're going to be an excellent upgrade. These are all pretty thirsty, but I want to wait to water them in until we get them in their new containers. So I filled up a few containers about halfway with our succulent potting mix. I just use a really cheap potting soil with a little extra perlite for drainage. I know for sure I want to uppot this one. This is probably the biggest succulent we have. When a plant's about twice the size of the pot that it's in, it's definitely ready to uppot. And it is so simple when you have a little container like this. Just want to check to make sure it's not too root bound. Otherwise it can be difficult to remove from the container. But this one's not too bad. So I'm just going to give it a light squeeze. That'll just loosen the pot. And look at that. Look at those roots. Wow. From here you might want to tease these roots apart just a little bit. I want to be very gentle. But we can just do very simply spread out those four corners just a little bit. It's okay if you sever a few of those roots. That'll actually promote new root growth. Let's just try it out in one of these green pots there. It looks pretty good. It could maybe sit a little bit deeper. So I'm going to dump out just a touch of that soil. Yeah, that's a little better. And we can just backfill around it. And the next time we uppot this, we'll probably divide it and split up those little plants on the side. It's okay if we get it a little dirty. We're going to clean it up in just a moment. Something to keep in mind is that the potting soil is going to be a little different than the soil it was in. So that can expand and shrink at different rates. So we want to give it a really good soak just so that kind of blends together. That's another reason to tease apart those roots a little bit. But we don't want to just tap away all that soil. That would be really harsh on the plant. I also want to uppot this one. But look at all the little babies. They're popping out all over the place. So I really want to give this a bit more space, a bit more sun, and maybe even see if we can divide these. Let's take a look. Just give it a light squeeze. Ooh, look at the different structure on those roots. They're a little bit thicker. Look at how the roots coiled in the bottom of the pot. It found the four corners. It's really funny. But look at our little babies there. They're like little aloe. Very, very succulent. Look at the thickness on those leaves. It's incredible. These are like jelly beans. But I don't think I can safely break apart these little pups. They're just too close to the main plant. So we'll just give it its own pot and hopefully it'll fill in. That one can sit a little bit higher. That's perfect. That'll give the babies a little bit more light. I'm definitely not very careful when I pot these in, and that's perfectly fine. We'll clean those up in a jiffy. Here's another one that we're going to uppot today. You can really see how tall these are getting. Look at this growth. I bet half of this is new growth just since I got these. Gently remove that pot. And because this one's leaning really hard, I might want to plant it a little bit crooked. Sort of like that. So it stays semi-upright. And if I find these are a little too top heavy, we'll just take some cuttings and propagate them. Try and get them in there sort of like that. I'm going to hold them in while we add our soil and settle them in a bit. We'll just shimmy that soil. How about that? That's pretty good. That's nice and upright. So let's give these a little drink. And I'll keep a close eye on them and hold them whenever I have to. For this last one, I'm going to try to combine these two. The one on the left is Tiger Jaw. Hopefully this will get some beautiful yellow flowers. But until then, the leaves are just some of the weirdest I've ever seen. And this one is a similar color. It kind of has a similar shape. and I have no idea what it is, but it reminds me of a sea turtle. Isn't that just a magnificent shape and color? And look at the texture, it's like velvet. But I want to see if I can just scooch it into the corner. We'll just flatten off this corner and then plant the tiger jaw right there. So I'll whittle away just a little bit from this corner here where they're going to touch. Perfect. Look at that little pairing. That is adorable. Look at how big of an upgrade that is. Since it's such a beautiful day, I thought we'd up-pot as many of these as we possibly can. Ones that are a little awkward, you can just rest on your hand or cup them very gently. And we can do our little squeeze. Give them just the lightest little pull. That's another one with really thick roots. Look at that. I'm not going to tease these apart because they look like they're starting to spread fairly evenly. If these were coiled really tightly around the base, you might want to loosen them a bit, but these look pretty good. Wow, I love the way that looks. I think we'll just keep this one by itself. That red is such a beautiful color. That really complements the darker green colors. Settle that in a bit. That looks great. Look at how that really filled in the container. Some of these look like they could be up-potted again. But I think this is a perfect size for probably the rest of the summer. If any of these really start to take off, maybe we could up-pot them again, or we could just start to prune them and propagate them. There, we're already starting to clean those leaves. And you know, our little secret weapon here is the spray bottle. It's like an infomercial. Just spray the dirt away. What a beautiful plant this one is. It just looks like it's celebrating. And what a nice fit in this bright green container. Wasn't easy, but we've up-potted every single one of our new succulents. And I was actually able to reuse the basins. Instead of 3 pots deep, now they fit 2. But here we have the lighter green succulents, here are the darker green ones, and then the pale blue ones. So we'll give these all another real nice healthy drink before we bring them back inside. I'm actually really surprised we got all of them done today. Look at all of those pots. Wow. And look at this. We are almost out of potting soil. So I think as early as next week, I'm going to start a new batch from scratch. So I hope you stay tuned for that and all the updates to come on our new succulents. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.